guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Rosie, and today I wanted to do something a little bit different, and that is I wanted to show you how I set up my bullet journal. Now, if you want to know, this is just one of the new Spectrum journals that's from Tesco's, and it just has relatively thick lined pages, and I just sort of set up the journal for what I need it for, so like sort of that. So we're going to be doing March's spread, and just to preface, I am not an artist and I'm not very good at drawing, but I've accepted that. I've had years of drawing very bad things and people saying they don't look like what they're supposed to, so I'm okay with that. It's cool, it's fine. I thought this would just be something fun to share with you. Now, the reason that I do my bullet journals is to help me manage my arthritis, and I'll go into a little bit more detail as I am doing each individual page. So I hope that this video works, I hope that you enjoy it, and without further ado, let's jump on into designing and setting up my journal. So see you then. So we begin with setting up the title page for March. So I do this just so there's like a clear division between each of the months. I don't know, I think it's nice, and so I make these pages sort of themed around something that I personally feel that the month represents. And so for March I chose to sort of have new life kind of as my theme, because that's basically what March really makes me think about. It's like new beginnings, and like the flowers start to bloom and get like buds, and leaves start to form on trees again. And I'm not sure if March is like lamb season and like baby chick season, but I do think of March in that way, and like birds and stuff like that. So that's why I've chosen this. I was really tempted to draw a cow with my sheep and my chicken, but I'm not very good at drawing cows, as people who I went to secondary school with can attest to. Like, my friends always used to laugh at my disjointed cows, and there wasn't really enough room, so I thought I would just sort of give that a miss, and nobody needed to see a revival of the deformed cow that looked more like the letter E. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. I think it's really cute and like cute, I don't know, I really like it. The next page is basically a calendar page. What I do is I draw this little grid out. Everything is freehand. I know that it sort of looks a bit rough, but I kind of like the sort of sketchy vibes that not having like straight rulers have. And anyway, if I were to use a ruler, it would come out way worse than this, because I physically cannot hold a ruler. I just literally cannot make it straight. I just can't do it. I don't know how people do it. But yeah, I use this page to make note of key events that are happening within the month. Yeah, that's really basically all this is for keeping track of key events and everything. It's really useful, and I'm happy that I have that page. So this next set of pages is actually really important for the purpose of this journal. Like I said, I created this journal to help me manage my arthritis, and so this is my habit tracker. And what I do for this is I write down basically everything that I've done in a day, and the sort of impact that's had on my body and how much pain I'm in. So like, for example, if I were to do uni work, I would write down I did like dissertation work today, and this like had an effect on my back, for example, and then rate from like 1 to 10 how much pain I'm in. This is so I can really just like see what is impacting this. And this has 3 pages because I found that 3 pages is enough to cover the whole month every single day. but this was only tested with February, so it may not be enough and I may have to put 4 pages in next month. But it's really useful and I'm glad that I have this because it's benefited me a lot. The next page is just a really simple mood tracker. It rates low, medium and high, and this is just so I can sort of match up with what I've done in the day and like what I've eaten and everything, and just really just have a general overview of my mood for that day. It really is nothing more important than this, and so for this time I've chosen to do petals of a flower because March and flowers, like I said, with the theme. But I'm not sure if this really came out exactly how I wanted it, but I think it looks quite cool. I hope it will look cool when all of the like petals are coloured in. That's what I'm hoping. It looks strange because it's not coloured in. That's what I'm going for. I hope. So the next thing I'm about to do is my skincare tracker, and this is in here because I am trying to get a grip on my skincare because it's beneficial, but because of my dyslexia and everything else like that, I just forget to do it. So this is like to keep track of if I've done it or not in a day, because I forget so much. It has helped a lot to be more consistent, so it works. Also on this page is my hydration tracker, and this is there equally because I forget to drink 2 litres of water a day, which is not good. So this is just to remind me to make sure that I drink enough in a day, and then when I get to tick it off in a day, I feel really accomplished and healthy because I know that I have gotten the right amount of hydration in a day. Otherwise, I am just terrible at remembering to do it. It's awful, really. The next set of pages is my meal tracker. Now, this isn't to plan my meals, this isn't to keep track of how many calories I'm having. It's nothing like that. It's nothing to do with weight or weight loss. So for me, this is to check what I'm eating and how often I'm eating, because with arthritis, it's important to eat regularly to make sure your energy levels are consistent throughout the day, to help combat the fatigue, which is a side effect of the disease and of the medication. So with the meal tracker, this really helps to see how regularly I'm eating. And this is 3 pages also because it covers the whole month, like the habit tracker. So these really are the pages for my arthritis treatment that I was referring to at the beginning. And yeah. So this is my activity tracker, and this is for me to keep track of how much activity that I have done within that day. So I have a no exercise, a low exercise, medium and high exercise. So low is like under 2,000, medium is 2,000 to 5,000 steps, and high is 5,000 plus steps. Also, depending on the activity, I'll be able to rate whether or not that's a day. So for example, swimming, it would depend how many laps I did. So yeah, this is because I need to keep my body moving, because arthritis your joints need to move, even though they don't want to, they need to. So this kind of helps me see how much activity that I am doing, and kind of helps also to manage fatigue in that way, because I know what I've done. This page is just so that if I need to make any notes for my YouTube channel, I can do. So for example, ideas for videos, planning videos, that kind of thing. I didn't have this in previous months, but I thought it would be really useful just to add something like this in. I don't know if I'll actually use it. I'm trialing this page, so I made it as basically as bare as I possibly could. So for that reason. The next page is for my reading journal. So I have basically at the end of each month a section dedicated to my reading journal, and in this I lay out my TBR for the month, which is the books that I want to read. I put my reading goals if I have any, which I usually like to set myself some goals. So I'm just writing down my TBR here, and I've chosen The Wrath of the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh, Year of the Reaper by Michaela Lucia, Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover, Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerri Maniscalco, and You and Me on Vacation by Emily Henry. So what I like to do is choose some fantasy and some contemporary or romance, just to make my life a little bit more varied. And also, if I've had an intensive week at uni or something, then I also like to have contemporaries to make it easier to read. I've also got a section on here for my books purchased in a month, and my goals. I have given myself some really simple goals, just like read more because I haven't been reading much, finish my TBR, finish a library book, balance my reading with uni, and basically just have fun, because last month I was reading a book and it put me into a slump and I forced myself to finish it. So what I'm writing now is just like reflections of last month, which is basically what I just said. Have more fun with reading. I like this little page. It's a nice reflection and sort of a nice way to keep all of my reading organised. I don't know, I love it. I love being organised. So this continues with my reading journal. This is my books read and my books read comments. I'm a bit annoyed with the table for this books read because I got confused with what I was doing and the things aren't in the right order. So for this, I like to record the title and the author, like as you would expect. And I record the page numbers and the genre of it and my rating. So I do this because I kind of want to make a yearly statistics at the end, just to see how much I'm reading, like how big and what I'm reading specifically. And I have a books comment page which I say when I started a book, when I finished, and I like to just have a more in-depth commentary of what I've read, because I think it would be nice to look back on, because I have a trouble remembering things. So that is the whole journal set up now. I thought I would just give you a quick little flip through just so you could see it more in depth and see like what I've actually done up close. As you can see on this page, it came through and I wasn't really happy about that. It was a little bit frustrating, but overall I'm really happy with how March has come out, because I did February and February just didn't look cute because the shades of like the colour scheme that I'd chosen, because I chose to theme it around love, of course, because February, you have to, surely. But the reds were all too similar and they didn't stand out enough. So I like this because the shades of pink that I chose to represent like flower petals, they came out nice. So I really like this. And this is cool because you get to see all my keys and what I've written and stuff up close. If you want to read anything, you can just pause it. Hopefully you can read my handwriting. I know it's not the neatest. I'm not very good at writing. But yeah, that is my journal spread for March. So I hope you like it. I know I do. So that was me setting up my bullet journal for March. I'm really quite happy with how it turned out. It's better than my February spread. It's still not as good as my January spread, but I think that was a bit of a fluke, to be honest with you. So it is what it is at the end of the day. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to leave a thumbs up, comment down below any suggestions you have for future videos, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye now.